Hey everyone, how are you? This is Jen Hall here, and I felt compelled to come on and do an impromptu live about what will people pay for, because this is a subject that has come up time and time again over the last couple of weeks, both in conversations with my coach, both in conversations with my clients, and also I've just been watching an interview between Tim Ferriss and Marie Forleo. And it just reminded me about that whole thing around what will people pay for. So bear with me a second. I'm just going to go and see if this is going to allow me to actually invite people. I've just done a quick introduction to this, and this is going to be all around why people pay for something. And it's really, really important to understand that people will pay for what they value. Now, I've said this before, and this has brought up a lot of questions. So I was just watching an interview between Tim Ferriss and Marie Forleo, and it reminded me, because I've been talking to my coach about it, I've been talking to my clients about it, and so on and so forth, about what will people pay for. I know that my coach, Jessica Lorimer, gets really frustrated when people talk about people only pay for money. Like, so for instance, you've got to sell money. Like, all the business coaches will do really well because that's, because everybody wants money. But that's just not the case. I invest, for instance, I invest in Nikki for my health. There is no necessary, monetary benefit from doing that. It's because I want to look good. And yeah, that's my motivation. However you want to flower it up, that's what I want to look good. Yes, of course, I want to feel healthy and all those other benefits. But my main driver is I want to look slimmer. I want to lose weight. That's why I pay for that service. And Tim Ferriss was talking about when he was his childhood, when he was younger, and he was saying that him and his parents didn't have much money at all, and they would be very open about the fact that they don't have a budget for things like bikes and other bits and pieces like that. But if he ever wanted to explore a subject, there will always be a budget for books. And now this is really interesting. They said that, whatever happens, we'll figure it out. And this is the thing. The other thing is that people, how much money people have is none of our business. Because whatever it is that you want to spend your money on, you will. Like, they had a budget for books. They said they're going to figure it out. If that's something that you want to do, we'll make it happen. And this is the thing that is that's what people do. If they really want something, they will make it happen. They will do whatever it takes. And so it's really important to remember that you don't have to be selling money, but what you do have to do is you do have to be tapping into their priorities, the type of person they are, and what they really, really want in their life. And if you're able to tap into that and sell to that priority, that is when people will hand over money. So for instance, my mum, at the times where I've tried to literally drag her on holiday, I'm even in a position now to say, why don't you just come away with this? And unless it's in the UK and it's cushy and she's got her home comforts, she is not fussed, right? But back in the day, it used to be, we can't afford holidays. We can't afford this. But people afford to smoke. She affords to go out and find the money for her computer so that she can play World of Warcraft, because that's what my mum does and she loves it, and fair dues to her. We all have our own savior in life, right? But that's what she enjoys the most. She sees the value in having a computer. She's always had computers. She's always had, not necessarily the latest computer, but she's always, got at least the best thing that she could get at that time, so that she could be in with that crowd of people, the geeks and the nerds. And that's just my mum. She's into Metallica and she's pretty cool in that respect, so go mum. But that's what I mean. Like, people will pay for what they value in life, what they prioritize. And I had this discussion with one of my clients the other day around what happens if people say, for instance, they want to lose weight, but then they just eat a piece of cake. And this is the difference. So in coaching terms, that's not necessarily the greatest client, but I used to be that person. But when I paid for accountability, then suddenly I changed. That's what I'm paying for. I'm paying for somebody to keep me on the straight and narrow. We had a bit of a break in coaching me, Nikki, and I fell off the wagon because I had someone in the background like watching what I was logging, all of those kinds of things. And as soon as she disappeared, I was like a kid in a candy shop. I was like, oh, I'll just have that and I'll just have that. Fortunately, I only put on £1. Fortunately, but it could have been a lot worse. So I was like, I cannot do without this accountability and having somebody on my back, keeping an eye on what I'm doing, keeping me on the straight and narrow, keeping me guided and whatever else. But it's just true. That's what I'm paying for, because without that, I would be the size of a house, because I don't seem to have self-control when it comes to food. And yeah, I'm probably getting a ton of people now and a ton of PMs telling me that I need to change my relationship with food and mindset and whatever else. Yeah, I know that. I understand. I have a problem with food in terms of my mind, but I absolutely need that accountability. Whatever's going on right now, that's what I need right now. That's what I pay for. And it isn't money related. So when you're looking at what it is that you're providing, focus less on what you want to give and focus more on your ideal client and what they want from life and what they prioritize. And you can kind of do this. So you can do this in a way, if you look at like wealth, health and relationships are kind of the three markets. So that's in priority terms, you can think about where those priorities lie. And I'll be completely honest with you, I've spent more money on business coaching than I have in my health, right? Because I'm just going to be completely transparent. My business excites me. It's important to me. It's a huge priority in my life. And so I would probably say my priority lies within the wealth category. But I still prioritize my health as well, and I still spend money on there. But can you see there's a difference in the level of investment, because that's my biggest priority. So you need to tap into where somebody has that big priority, what's important to them, but I will still invest in my health. If someone is willing to promise to me and say to me that if I do this, I will lose X amount of weight, or if I do this, this is how I'm going to look, or if I do this, this is how my business is going to look. It's about communicating the value and the transformation, because people buy emotionally first and then they justify what they've bought with what they want to buy with logic. So you need to give them both. You need to connect with that priority. You need to connect with that identity of who they're going to be once they achieve this outcome. And you need to then back it up with the benefits and the logical reasons why that's going to be important for them to achieve, because they need to be able to go and justify it not only to themselves, but to potentially hubby, who, you know, is questioning, well, why are you spending all this money on this? We need to have logical reasons as to why we're going to invest that. But people pay for what they prioritize in life. So do make sure that when you're looking at what you've got, don't be freaking out that, you know, perhaps it isn't money related, perhaps it's not sales. But you do have to realize that people do pay for what they value and what they prioritize. So I hope that's helped a few people today. I thought it was really important for me to come on here and just give that little bit of nugget of advice when you're thinking about what, you know, how am I going to get paid for what I do? Think less about the processes of what you bring to the table, more about what they want and how what you have can fit in with that. How can it help them achieve that priority? Because that's the angle that we need to be coming from. Less about the process, more about the want. I'm just going to go through. Nikki says priority sell. It absolutely does. My mum sounds awesome. She's pretty awesome. Anushka says, you opened a can of worms in my head with your post in the group and this live. I am so sorry. Well, you know, I'm always here. If you've got any questions, go and post it in the group. And if you're not in the group, then that's where you need to be. So go and post in there. But it's, you know, this is what I'm all about today. I'm all about looking at what people want and be willing. And if you're just wondering what was posted in the group, I posted in a little blog about how we need to start be willing to state the outcome, because so many people get scared of promising something in case it doesn't happen. And I go into the ins and outs of that all inside of my group. So if you want to pop in there, it's called Unrivaled Experts. Just type it into the search box in Facebook and it will pop up. More than welcome to come in there and have a look. Jen Davies says, great advice. Thank you so much. And it's so great to have you on here. Hello, by the way. Jen only lives up the road from me. So that's really nice. Hello. Right, okay, I'm going to go and sort my stuff out because I'm getting ready for my new YouTube channel because I'm starting up the Truth Bomb Show, where we're going to be talking on topics like this, but slightly juicier. I'm going to be getting guests on who really want to stand up for what they believe in their industry, which will kind of position them as Marmite. So it's going to be really, really interesting because they're going to be really expressing those opinions and what they truly believe in. And it's going to start a fire. And I am so excited. So I'm going to go. I need to sort my YouTube channel out because that's where it's all going to be hosted. I'll be sharing it over into Facebook, but you need to be coming over onto my YouTube channel if you want to be the first people to catch those shows. And I'll announce it as soon as it's up, but I'll pop my subscription to YouTube in the comments and also probably the link to my group as well. So you can come and find me in various different angles. Right, okay, off I go and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care, bye-bye.